Yeah, I mean, we're still seeing the Viscous quite a lot. The Yamato and the Wraith have all been big item characters in the draft. I've seen quite a bit of the Mirage and the Pocket as well. So those are kind of like the big things that we're looking at going into this. On sort of a secondary note, we're also seeing quite a lot of Warden, which I thought was a little bit surprising. It is like a decent character, but I don't think he's like as strong as some of these. But here we go. First off, we're getting a Yamato ban already here from the side of 5 Mo's, 1 Krill. They certainly have a little bit of PTSD from playing against that last match for sure. And Lady Geist ban from 789 is not a ban we've seen all day. We've seen it picked a few times, but that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of teams, one team specifically, take the Lady Geist off the rip. Now, this is 5 Most 1 Krill on the Amber Hand, Sapphire Flame being 789. I can't speak to the whereabouts of 5 Mo's 1 Krill, but I do know that 789 are a EMEA European team. So the way that they play the game is just so different, and I'm wondering if I go back in the logs to see who first picked that Lady Geist. I'm wondering if EU just has a different idea of the power of Lady Geist right now and kind of where she sits in the scene. Obviously, you talked about the Pocket and the Wraith. That's going to be picked up both going over to 5 Mo's 1 Krill, and on the opposite side, a supporty approach, right? We've got the Kelvin locked in and a Paradox, which there were a couple of games where Paradox didn't get picked, and that feels insane, regardless of the Paradox changes.
Yeah, I mean, Paradox, they've been nerfing her like so much, mainly around the wall, but they've been improving her kinetic carbine just a bit, making it scale with headshots and getting some of those gun items like long range to be more better on the ability. And she's just been such a prominent force all game, roaming around the map. Even with the heavy melee change cancel as well, she still gets around the map, plays as a roamer, a playmaker character for sure. And now we got a Viscous and the Mo and Krill as well. That's a combo that we've been seeing all day. Mo and Krill plus Paradox for that kind of double lockdown hyper gank play style. And the Viscous and Kelvin, very survivable team there, going with those early supports for the side of 789 there. We see the Lash come out as well. I'm curious what their kind of carry pick is going to be.
Yeah, Infernus still available. 7, okay, still a solid pick, even though 7's received some tune-ups since the great world of Lightning Ball that we lived in for a couple of weeks. But yeah, not bad to round it out. You mentioned for the composition of 789, their kind of lockdown potential, their pick potential. They've got a lot of control, right? Whether it be controlling everything inside the shelter, the swap or the combo, then you add the Lash on top of that, and just the ability.
Mostly in the duo lanes this day, but here they're going to have them matched up against the Shiv. Mo and Wraith over on the York side, while Pocket and Ivy matched up against Kevin and Lash. Been sort of a common pairing between those two characters. Warden and Mirage versus Viscous and 7 over on that blue lane as well. I'm looking at this Kelvin Lash lane as kind of important just because you have Pocket in here, and you really kind of want to shut this guy down as quickly as possible, and you kind of have the means to do that with Lash and Kelvin. But if it goes poorly, it's going to go like really, really poorly, right? So I think that's definitely a lane we should keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because a lot of that damage amp comes from that barrage that you were just seeing right there, and both Kelvin and Lash can choose the pace of the fight, right? They can immediately jump on this Pocket, not allow that barrage to go off, or, once that barrage doesn't get that 4 times damage amp, they can then look to pick a fight themselves. As we jump out, we talked about this Wraith, how important Wraith is to the meta just in general, but obviously this solo lane is, well, a duo kill. Solar Hound gonna go down. Unfortunately, not enough to keep the Viscous alive. And there's that punish that you talked about, right? Pocket is gonna be looking to get punished here. 789 are making good on that.
Yeah, a little bit of an overcommitment there. You saw Lash was very low, and they tried to go in to try and finish him off, but just couldn't quite get around the tower there and ended up paying dearly for it with that increased tower damage. Tower diving in this very early game is extremely dangerous if you are not confident that you can get that final pickup there. So a good way to start off that lane there for 789 for sure.
I'm like highly perplexed by the solo paradox. It's
Yeah.
so rare that you see this paradox, and it looks like just based off of the mini map, they've done a good job of playing it as safe as possible, right? Hey, just shove out the wave. We're not going to look to fight the Shiv at all. Let's just keep this wave pushed underneath the turret and keep the Shiv here in lane, most importantly, as we saw another couple of kills coming on through that Wraith, finally making good on a kill of their own.
Nice pick up there for sure. But yeah, you definitely like to see, especially against Shiv, right? Paradox makes so much sense when there's like someone there to help out with. Bit of a missed dive slam there from Adrian, and ended up hitting the bridge. But yeah, you like to have someone there that when you swap them through, you're going to have a second person to dump in that DPS as well to ensure that you get the kill. It's a lot more obviously feasible in a duo lane.
Man, that cube forced to be used once more. Unfortunately, again, the Viscous just cannot keep themselves alive or a teammate there as they bide their time and eventually find the kill onto that 7. Now that Lash is looking to do it again, but unfortunately just misplacing the ground strike there will eventually secure that kill onto Lona. So getting one back is 7, 8, 9 there, but a couple of times where we've seen Adriano, right, just fall short of being able to make good on the slam.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. You know, you play around, you want to, when you're against Lash, you want to play around the bridge or play around that high ground because that's really his big weakness, and the placement of that ground slam is so important. And it was definitely a very awkward spot there where that Warden was, and it would have been maybe nice to see Adriano hold on to the cooldown for just a moment longer. You know, wait for some stamina to get used, wait for a good patch where you can guarantee it. Because there are definitely times when you can miss that, and the turn of the fight just goes totally backwards, and you get punished for it.
And now grouping up here, things getting dicey. Uptown Broadway, Lona with the last stand. Unfortunately, can't find too much. Forced to just back away, and maybe there will be some Guardian damage. 4-5 Mo's, 1 Krill. As they continue to keep the pressure on. We'll see if plays can be made. Adriano's looking once more. Goes up top. Had so much height, but unfortunately could not find a target. So a lot of commotion happening on Broadway. 3 players from each team still looking to defend here as they've drawn a line of scrimmage. And now finally 5 1 Krill looking to go past it. Here comes the ultimate though. Total War gonna get scooped up, pushed underneath the turret, but again, slippery is the Mirage. And on the back end, again, it's Dardian to fall once more. That 7 cannot stay alive.
Yeah, not a great way to start off for your 7. Adriano making some good plays there with that wall jump, though. Unfortunately, they just didn't have the follow-up on Total War. That Warden showing up to really be able to confirm the big kills there. But you love to see those wall jump plays coming out from a Lash like that. You can get a big height. Another good telekinesis here from this Wraith. Trying to gun down this Mo, and Krill going to survive with a 1 health. Barely gets away. But 4.2k on this Wraith is a really good spot to be for 5 Mo's 1 Krill right now, to have your carry up like this. It's very promising.
Yeah, matched on the opposite side by the Mirage too, right? Mirage sitting at 4.3k, that being Total War, who's shown proficiency on this hero already on the day. Is Lona maybe stepping a little too far forward, is going to eventually back away there, but we've had a lot of action Broadway. Now we're starting to see some aerial action as we make our way downtown York. Mamba trying to make something happen here, and it's just the pea shooter. Ivy's gun just doesn't really have the damage now, however, with Wraith's back up here, Flare also finding their way into the mix. Maybe they can scoop up that kill onto Adriano, who's 1 HP, just trying to ring around the rosy to survive, but will go down, and Eric Pritz left all on their lonesome. That Mo and Krill's been beefy and has hung on to this lane so long, but it looks like 5 Mo's, 1 Krill will eventually look to take it down as Total War goes toe-to-toe with Solar Hound, but is going to make good on the escape there and just back off with Lona as he's got that wave pushed up.
Yeah, this 7 now rotating over, leaving that Guardian open for the Shiv, looking to take this 2v3 here, get a nice swap onto Lona as the stun will escape underground. Going to be building up the last stand, and everyone jumping in here, but just getting eaten up by this Warden Ultra Claw Machine, and the 7 can't get out. Total War going back in for more, gets his Paradox, throwing the Scarabs out. Will force them to retreat as Lona looking to gun him down. There'll be a double kill there, and big pressure on the Guardian. Death Slam here from Adria, though, jumping in with the Ground Slam. A lot of damage on the Total War, has 16 health, and makes it out of there. And gets a kill on the Lash as well. A big play there from Mo and Krill, getting so much, or 5-1 Krill, getting so much out of that.
Yeah, thanks for confusing us with the team names with a Mo and Krill on the other team. It feels awful, but yeah, that was so hard to watch, right? 789, they're trying to convert on some of these kills. Adriano has been really looking to make plays, but gets punished every single time they do so. And Total War surviving with 16 health. The moment couldn't have been more perfect because Tornado was on cooldown. So before you picked up the Mirage, and that was the wrong target to have because he just tornadoes to safety. This time, you throw him underneath the Guardian, no Tornado available, but a Puddle Punch that just narrowly missed allowed the Mirage to survive. So it's heartbreaking. And in a lot of these skirmishes and a lot of these fights, you can see it from the soul lead alone, but we're seeing 5-1 Krill. Whether it be a little or a lot, they're just always finding the better half of these trades that are happening around the map.
Yeah, and getting a pretty sizable soul lead as well, up about 12k as the fight breaking out here on that purple side. It's going to be the 7, the Paradox going down for 789. Another good pick for 5-1 Krill as they continue to pressure around the map. Lona versus the Kelvin in this lane. Looks like the pocket's going to be rotating over as well to try and make something happen. They'd like to get this Guardian. They have the flex slot, but getting all the Guardians is, of course, nice. It's opened up a lot of places on the map here, and looks like they will be able to. Claw Machine, the Binding Word, will catch out the Mo. Gets a scored off, actually, and is able to survive, running away as 1 health. And get gunned down, though, in the jungle.
Wow, a huge scorn, but just wasn't enough. Scorn on 3 players, sure, but that means 3 players are close enough to just keep running you down, and that's exactly what happened. So again, the Mo and Krill proves to be this meatball for this 789 squad, but all on his lonesome, Eric Pritz just cannot get enough done, and it's another situation where 5-1 Krill, right? They look to make a play, and they are on the winning end of that one. So as you said, 4 Guardians down. It's map pressure, right? They can push up a little bit further. 789 can't afford to step up as far as we see Lona scooping up that movement speed buff. And this Warden has been active, dancing from Broadway to Park, finding plays, making good on all of the last stands. Lona has been a standout player on both the Warden and the Mo and Krill today.
Yeah, absolutely. That last stand earlier in the game was really huge for winning that fight, and it really helped propel 5-1 Krill's lead to what it is now, and it's just continuing to grow. We're up almost 20k now at 10 minutes. As Lona carrying the urn, getting flown around here by the Ivy. It looks like it's going to be a pretty easy drop-off here. No one from 789 really going to be able to contest that, so that's just even more money now. And they're still putting some pressure on those center lane walkers as well. They'll be there to defend the side Guardian. They're at a really good spot map-wise here, as looks like this skirmish now breaking out over on the blue side.
Telekinesis all the way through, and Adriano just caught out. Cube, though, stays alive for just a second. And it's Benos who eventually goes down, so that Wraith gets punished. And that's a large net worth to be dying there to pass over to some of these members on 789 who are still sitting under 10k. And now Maxicor maybe caught out a little bit too far forward. Pops the healing right there, but it gets canceled almost immediately. Fortunately, the frost grenades will be enough. Meanwhile, the Ivy looking to make plays, finds a kill onto Darshan. They picked up a walker, so Park has been completely opened up that far right side of the map, and Adriano shows up just a second too late. But now as he makes his way back to Broadway, nope, not in time to find that Shiv. Dash is able to get out safely.
Yeah, now you're down so much money here. 789. They're invading. There's this secret shop basically. All of 5-1 Krill actually looking to push this this Broadway walker right now. We got 5 members in the Wraith split pushing here as well. A decision must be made. It looks like 789 returning to base to defend this blue side walker right now. Eric Fritz gonna go for the combo, but he's still getting melted down. Gonna be 2 members, 789 getting gunned down as well as losing the walker there. Not what you want to see. 5-1 Krill, though, going hard. The Frozen Shelter coming out with the Guardian inside. The ground side not able to get anything in the dome. There's the Affliction under the Guardians. If they're just pushing the base so hard. Lash and 7. Their health bars are not looking good at all. The Stone Form comes out to try and stay alive. The Cube. It's in there very deep. Lord will be going down. And I mean, that's some devastating losses. Some shrines gonna be falling here as well. 5-1 Krill. Making big work of this base right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The Frozen Shelter, it stalled the inevitable for just a moment. And now we're looking at what should have happened 6 seconds earlier, right? 5-1 Krill, they've got themselves such a huge lead that they just march into the base. They fight whoever they want to fight. It felt like 7, 8, 9 were kind of just throwing themselves one by one at 5-1 Krill in that previous fight. But once everybody's been wiped up, once they've dealt with that patron a bit, they will set their eyes on this mid boss. Adriano's close. Looks like Maxicore also kind of close, but I don't know if they'll get there in time. Might look to try and make the play here. Telekinesis rips him up into the sky. That Rejuvenator will be secured, and it's a kill on top of it all.
Yeah, it is not looking good for 7, 8, 9. They have not a lot to work with. No jungle really left. And down this much, and now a Rejuvenator. A big push is just about to come in. They're going to finish off the patron, really, because the shrines are gone now. The patron's wide open. They're just gonna bust down these guardians here right now. They have all their ultimates except for telekinesis, and last stand getting popped right here. Actually, just gonna go in, look to gun down as many people as possible and make this here. Death Slam coming in, throws him into the base to see if they can get any kind of pick here. The 7 stun comes out, but no one dies. They all get out of there. They actually pick up the Lash on their way, and the patron just getting gunned down. They try to buy some time with the Frozen Shelter. The 7 getting cut down in his ult. And this is likely just going to be the game right here.
Yeah, this should do it. That patron, the health slowly starting to get chipped away. Now it looks like 5-1 Krill will set their eyes on the objective as they play around inside. Pushing somebody out of lane, or, you know, pushing 3 players into a lane to try and focus down a Guardian. 5-1 Krill really on top of this.
Yeah, a lot of map pressure coming around. Lona, as we said, was very active in hunting down players. Total War as well. 16 KP and I Am Mamba just getting into like every single fight, basically. Not taking a losing endeavor, making sure that they're always the ones that are getting the picks. And